Welcome wherever you are, Teacher David here. So I want to take you through this paper. Remember to share, like, subscribe. This paper is a paper 2 question. Let me take you through these papers you prepare for your exams. We have been given evaluate using logarithms. Now we have the square root of this number over log 9.814. So you draw a table of this nature, then you write the number, you write the standard form, we write it in short std form, and then the log. So the first number is 4.283. This number is already in standard form. I hope you know how to write a number in standard form. A number is in standard form if the first digit is between 1 and 9.9. So 4. So it means we are not going to write anything here. It will remain the same, but we are going to introduce the powers. This one, this is 4.283 times 10 raised to power 0. Remember, when you raise an n number with 0, the answer is always 1. So this is this number times 1. It is that number. Then this power of 10 gives us what we call the characteristics, and the mantissa we will get it from the log of this number. So the characteristics is 0. Then you press your calculator, log 4.283. That will give you 63.17. Whenever you are using a calculator, it is a 4 figure. The fourth figure, if it is more than 5, you increase the fourth one. If it is not more than 5, you leave it that way. The next number is this number, which is in bracket raised to power 2. So our next number is 0.009478. Write this number in standard form. 1, 2. We are looking for a number that is between 1 and 9.9. So it is 1, 2, 3. This is where we find a number that is 9. It is if you stop here, this is a 0. We want a number. So the number is 9.478 times. How many times did you move to the right? So this is 1, 2, 3. Therefore it is 10 raised to power. Whenever you move to the right, the power is negative. Negative what? 1, 2, 3. Negative 3. So this one becomes our characteristics. So our characteristics is part 3. We call it part 3 instead of negative 3. Now press your calculator and get the log of 9.4 this. That one is 97.67. So since this number was raised to power 2, we multiply this log by 2. So 0, you multiply 2, you have squared. So this times this, 14. This times this, 12, 13. This times 14, 15. This times it, that's 18, 19, carry 1. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1, negative 5. So we are done with the first one. You draw a line. Since it was multiplication, then it means you add. So we are adding this plus this plus that. So we get per 4. That one after that. We have finished with the numerator. You can underline. We do now the denominator, which is log Now log 9.3, you can use the logarithm. We have two ways here. You can use the logarithm table, or you find the log of this using the calculator. Press in your calculator, log this. It will give you 0.9918. Log this. This is the answer. Now write this one in standard form. That is 9.918 times 10 raised to power 1, -1. So our characteristics is power 1. Then find the log of 9.918, which is 9964. Because we had only one, we are done. We have the denominator and the numerator. So it is division. Because this line means division, you subtract. So 11 minus 4, that is 7. You borrow 1 from here, that's 11. Remains 4. 14, you borrow 1 here, that is 14. 14 minus 6, which is 8. So we borrow 1 from 5. Remember, we borrowed 1 to make this one. We borrowed 1 from here, 17. So 17 minus 9, 8. We borrowed 1 here, that is 4. 4 minus, that is 14. We would borrow 1 from -4. When you borrow 1 from -4, you get -4. What remains is -5. When you borrow from a negative number, the remainder is negative. If you borrow from 0, what remains is -1. So here we will remain with -1. Now -5. -5 minus -1. The answer is going to be -4. Now finally, we have finished the inside. Let's now take care of the square root. Square root means you divide by 2 or a half. You multiply a half. Now since the characteristics and the matrices are divisible by 2, you divide direct. So this one you will divide here twice by 2. Divide here 2, remain 1, 19. That is 9, remain 1, 18, 9, 3, 4. You will carry off. You will carry 58, 2, 18, 9, remain. Now once we have gotten this number, we come back, we find the logarithm of this number. It is 10 raised to power -2. This is the characteristics, therefore it means this. Remember, when it was this, we go this way. When it was this is what we wrote. So when we go back, we bring this one here. Then times the log of this. So you press your calculator, shift log. It will give you the number, and then 0.2944. You will get 1.969. So this means you divide by 1,000, and that one give you 0.0197. So that is the correct answer for that. The base of a perpendicular height of a triangle measured to the nearest centimeter are 12 centimeter and 8 centimeter respectively. Find the absolute error in calculating the area of the triangle. Absolute error. So you can see we have been given 12 and 8. First, you need to remember the least count of a measurement. So if we are given 12, it means the least count is 1. If you are given a whole number without a decimal place, then it means the least count is 1. So the least count of this one is 1. Therefore, the absolute error is divided by 2, which is going to be 0.5. So we are going to get the maximum and the minimum, we add plus or minus 0.5. So if it was 12.5 or 12.6, the least count here is 0.1. Therefore, when you get over 2, you get the maximum and the minimum is going to be plus or minus 0.01. You continue like that. So if it was 12.43, it is 2 decimal places. It means the least count is 0.00. How many are these? Yes, 0.1. If this one 2 decimal places is going, it means 0.01. Divide by 2, you get the absolute error that way. So here for this one, the maximum, the upper limit and the lower limit. So the maximum for this one, we will have 12. We add 0.5. Then minimum for this one, that is the lower, we will have, you subtract here 0.5, we will have 11.5. So these are the limits we will have. If it is for 8, we will have 8.5, and you subtract 0.5, 7.5. That's what we have. So to get the maximum area, we know the area is a half base times height, because this is a right angle triangle. So we will get a half times the base. The base, remember the base was the height, the base is 12. So for us to get the maximum, we will use the upper limit, that is 12.5 times 8.5. And this one gives us 53.30. Then the minimum area is a half base times height, and that is a half times the lower, which is 11.5, times the lower for the base, and the height is 7.5. And this will give us 43.125. Now to get absolute error, to get the absolute, we do the maximum area minus minimum area times a half, which is 53.125 minus 43.125 divided by 2. So 5 is the absolute error, the absolute error for the area. Find the percentage error in the area. Percentage error is equal to absolute error over actual area times 100. So we don't have actual, so we need to get the actual area. Actual area is equal to a half times base, which is 12, times height, which is 8. So 48 is the actual area. Now we can now put this one, that is 5. That is the absolute error over 48 times 100. This gives us 10.4%. Make Q the subject of the formula. Q. We are making Q the subject of the formula. So whenever you have a square root or a cube, make Q the subject of the formula. Q. We are making Q the subject of the formula. So whenever you have a square root or a cube root like this, the first thing you do is to remove that cube root or fourth root, whichever it is. So this is P is equal to the cube root of n q minus m over q. So to remove this cube root, you cube both sides. That is the first step. So we will have p cube is equal to, the cube root has disappeared. Now we have nq minus m over q. The next thing you do is to remove the denominator. Times q times q. So we will have p cube, pq. So p cube then q. Remember, you write them in alphabetical order. That's how it should be. This and this cancel, so we will have n q minus m. Remember, we are making q the subject of the formula, so now you bring the like terms together. We will have p cube q. This is plus. When it crosses the equal signs, it becomes negative. Minus m remains here. Now p, q and q, they are common here. You put one outside. So we'll have q into p cube minus n. Remember, q is common. If I open this bracket, this times this, p cube q. If I add this times this, nq. So there's nothing we have changed. Minus m. Since we want q, divide by both sides by p cube minus n. Therefore, q is equal to minus m over p cube minus n. A bag contains 3 red balls, 5 white balls, and 2 green balls. Another bag contains 4 red balls, 3 white balls, and 5 green balls. A bag is chosen at random. So a bag is chosen at random. We have 2 bags A and B. So first you need to choose the bag. We have A and B. The probability of choosing A or B is a half. Then now this bag A contains 3 balls. One is red, another is white, another is green. Ball B2 contains red, white, and green. So bag A contains 3 red, 5 white, and 2 green. Bag B contains 4 red, 3 white, and 5 green. So the total here is 10. The total for the second one, there are 12. Find the probability the ball is chosen is red. Find the probability is red. So we will have A probability A red or probability B red. So that means when we talk about or, when it is or, you add. So the probability AR is 3 is 1 or 1 over 2 times 3 over 10 plus for this or 4 over 12. And this is 3 over 20 plus 1 over 6. The answer is 19 over 20. Over 60, sorry. 19 over 60. Solve for x. Solve for x in log 5x plus 15 minus log 2x minus 3 is equal to 1. So this one, the log is common here. There's two ways you solve. I want to do the simplest. So log is common, therefore just put one log here, open the bracket. This is 5x plus 15, but this is minus. So minus in logarithms means division. So divide by the second one, which is 2x minus 3. You divide. Then cross is equal to 1. Then you should need to remember that log base 10, 1000 is equal to 3. This is the base, this is the answer, and this is the power. I mean, if now you want to write this in index notation, we will say 10 raised to power 3. The answer is 1000. So whenever we have log without the base written there, it is always to base 10. So this one is the base 10. You should remember that. It is always base 10 whenever it is not written. Right? Now, this is the base, this is the answer, and this is the power. What I was doing here, I was not just joking, I was doing a serious thing here. 10 is the base, 1000 is the answer, 3 is the power. So I have shown you how realistic this one is. Base, that is 10, the power is 3, the answer is 1000. Therefore now, this is the base, which is 10, the power is 1, the answer is equal to 5x plus 15 divided by 2x minus 3. Now you can put here over 1. Anything raised to power 1 is that anything. Therefore, 10 raised to power 1 is 10. You can cross multiply. This is 10 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 5x plus 15. $20 minus 30 equal to 5x plus 15. Like terms together, 15x, that is 20x minus 5, will be equal to, this one is 15 plus 30. So 15x equal to 45. Divided by 15, divided by 15. So this cancels, this here 1, here 3, therefore x is equal to 3. The value of x in this is equal to 3. So allow me to quicken this one because of I see this video is going to be very long. Solve this one. This is 2x squared plus this using completing square method. Whenever you are asked to use a certain method, please make use of that. If you use a formula here, you will get a 0. So the first thing you need to do is to divide by, remove this coefficient of x squared here, divide by 2 everywhere. So we have divided by 2. Again, remove this c here and take it to the right side. Take c to the right side like I have done. So when it's this positive c is going to be on the other side, it's supposed to be plus. This one was supposed to be minus. I did the correction. So it is plus 18. It was negative here. Then now, once we divide by, we remain with x squared here. This one will be half, and this one will be 18. From there, you remember this one, that b over this squared is equal to ac. Now, get b. What is our b here? Our b alone is a half. Our b is a half. Then divide by 2. So if you divide by 2 here, it's going to be a quarter. That's why we have this a quarter here. So x squared plus 1 over 4 squared. Where did I get the square? It is from here. B over 2 squared. That's what I've written here. So once you get this value here, you add this value to the right side. So 1 over 4 squared is 1 over 16. You add here. Then x the square here is common, you can now put 1x here and 1 over 4, then everything squared is equal to this, is equal to this. Now to remove this square here, you square root both sides. When you square root, you get the square root plus or minus of this, the total. And the value of x is this. Solve x in this. Solve for x for this range. The first thing you need to do is to remove this coefficient of the sign here. You divide by the form 4 to solve this. So this is negative 1 over 4, it is same as negative 0.25. So you divide by both sides to remove it there. To remove this one here, you divide by left side here with this and the right side with that. So this one gets out. Now we will have negative 0 point this one. So the negative tells us that the sign, we want the sign where it is negative. It means that this negative means that the sign that we are going to deal with is the one that is negative. So it is not here, it is not here, it is here and here. This is where the sign is negative. These two, the tan and the cosine, it means the sign is negative. Very important to note. So when you are pressing your calculator, you press sine inverse this without a negative. The negative only indicates that this is where in the unit circle where the sign is negative. That's what we want. So when you press your calculator, sine inverse, you will realize that this one, the sine inverse of this is 40 degrees. So 40 is in this one, so we don't need the sign here. And this one is 180 minus 40, and that is positive, so we don't want that, so we need here. So how do you get the angle here? The angle here is 180 plus theta plus 40. That's why we have the 220. The angle here is 360 minus 40, which is 320. Then you move like that. So once you have all these angles, now you start doing individually. 2x plus 30 is equal to this one. You get this angle here. That is our first angle. Then again you equate 2x plus 30 to this angle. You get our x 45. You equate this equation with this one. You get all the angles, and these are all the angles. The figure below shows a circle. Center OAB is this, intersecting that, and they have been given AB is equal to this. BQ is 5 and QC is 4. BC is x. So find the value of x. We are looking for this x. So these are chords which are intersecting externally. This is external. So you need to remember how to write the formula. So if they are meeting externally, then remember AC, the longer one, AC times, this dot means multiplication, AC times BC is exactly equal to PC, the longer, PC times QC. That is very important. That's what you need to understand. After that, now substitute the numbers. AC, it is 9 plus x. That's where people forget. 9 plus x, that is AC. Then times BC, which is x, will be equal to PC, will be equal to BC, PC, which is 9, that is 5 plus 4, 9, times QC, which is 4. So now we have this times is 9x plus x squared is equal to 36. Now this is x squared plus 9x minus 36 is equal to 0. So I have brought this side. Now you solve this using either the formula, whichever method you use here, you are free to get the value of x. So x into x minus 3. So look for two values, numbers. When you multiply, you get negative 36. When you add, you get a 9. You can use that is the factor method. I'm going to use the factor method. You can use n that you like. So x plus 12, x minus 3 equal to 0. It means x is equal to minus 12 or x is equal to 3. So length cannot be negative. It means that x is equal to 3. Length cannot be negative. Therefore, x is 3. The cost C of operating an electric business is partly constant and partly varies as the square of labor input L. If C is equal to this, when L is equal to this, C is equal to this, when L is equal to this. Find C when L is 8. So this is, we have three types of variations. We have partial variation, partial, that is part 3, partial. We have direct, and we have the joint variation. So we have direct, inverse, joint variation, and the partial. Partial variation is always in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. That is for partial. So this one is partial because it is part 3 and part 3. Now we are going to write using the letters provided, but we are going to have our two constants. Now C, we have to be C varies. So C equal to, I will introduce my constant m plus another constant k, varies partly as the square of L. So I will put L squared here. This is my constant and this is another constant. So this is in the form of y is equal to mx. So I can even start, this is the same as C is equal to KL square plus m. So this one, this and this are in the same form. Only the letters have changed. Now they are saying that when C is 25,000, L is 20. So L, if L 20, it means it's going to be 20 times 20, which is 400K plus M. That is our equation 1. Then when C is 4,500, KL is 30. So the square of that is 900. 900 times K, 900K plus M. And that one is our equation 2. That's our equation 2. Now you can solve this equation using elimination method, whichever you want, and you will get. So let me eliminate M. I will subtract to eliminate M. This is, and this one is going to be negative 500K. This minus this is going to be negative 20,000. So I divide by negative 500, divided by negative 500, you realize that K is going to be 40. Negative and negative will cancel out. We will have K equal to 40. Now, since I have the K, I need this constant M. I will substitute this K here, n of this one, and get the value of M. So I will say 45,000. I'm using this one. 45,000 equal to M plus 9k, but k is 40. So 45,000 equal to m plus, what is this? 36,000. So you bring this here. So m, you subtract 45 minus 36, you get m is 9,000. Then finally you are asked to find L, to find C when L is 8. So C is equal to KL square plus M. Now we have C, we are looking for C, where K is 40 times L is 8 squared, then plus M, and our M is 9,000. Our M is 9,000. Then now the final value LC equal to 11,560. Expand and simplify the binomial expression this up to this term. So how do you expand? You start with the first term. You will have 2 raised to this power. Then the second term, x, is going to be raised to power 0. Plus the first term raised to the power for the first term will be decreasing, while the start of the second term will be increasing. X raised to power 1 plus 2 raised to power 3, x raised to power 2 plus 2 raised to power 2, x raised to power 3. Always the power, when you add this plus this, the answer should always be 5. The answer should always be 5. So we were told up to x is raised to power 3. I have reached to power 3. There's no need of continuing. The next thing I want to have is the coefficients of 5, which are 1, 5, 10, 10. Those are the coefficients of 5 using the mathematical table. Page 28, you will get that. Then now multiply this. 2 raised to power 5 is 32. 32, x raised to power 0 is 1. A number raised to power 0, the answer is 1. So we will have 32 plus 8, 2 raised to power 4, 16. 16 times 5, 80. X plus, this is 80. 80 times 10, 80. X squared plus 440 x cubed. So we have gotten our 2 marks by expanding that way. Now use your expansion to estimate this. So first equate this with this. 2 plus x raised to power 5 is equal to 1.97 raised to power 5. Both are raised to power 5, cancel that, and like terms together. This is a number and this is a number. So bring the old number here. This is our whole number, so this is, take this side. So we have x is equal to 1.97 minus 2. So x is equal to negative 0.03. Now bring our expansion and substitute where you see x, you substitute with this one. So we will have 32 plus 80 into negative 0.03 plus 80, open bracket, negative 0.303 squared plus we are now here 40 into negative 3 is 0.03 cube. Now you press your calculator, you will find that we will have 32 minus, because this one is going to be minus 2.4 plus 0.072 minus 0.00108. So our final answer is 29.67 to 4 significant figures, because you must follow this instruction. If you forget, the answer is going to be, if you decrease the significant figures, you get 0 here. So you will get 1 mark. After you have done that, you might have made a mistake here. So what you need to do is to check this number directly whether it is this one. You bring your calculator here, then you press 1.91. What's wrong with you? 1.97 raised to power 5. You see, 29.67 for significant figures, exactly what we got. So you need to confirm your answer. A businessman obtained a loan of Kenya shillings this from a bank to buy a matatu that was valued the same amount. The bank charges interest of 24 per annum, that's per year, compounded quarterly per year. Calculate the total amount of money the businessman paid to clear the loan in 4.5 years to the nearest shillings. So amount, let us use the formula, equal to principal. Principal is the money that it began with, which is this one. Principal 1 plus r raised to power n. So if it is compounded quarterly, I'm going to give it a shortcut how to use. So the principal is 4,450. 1 plus our rate is 24 over 100. Then inside here times a quarter. This a quarter. Compounded quarterly, you divide by 4. Then our n is 4.5. Is 4.5. So it is 4.5 times this a quarter. So you divide by inside 4, and for n you multiply with the n with 4. N times 4. That is a quarter. If it was compounded a half year, so you will multiply here times a half, then the n times 2. You get the point? This is a quarter, 1 over 4, we divide by 4, then the n we multiply with 4. This is 4,450 into this one is going to be 1.06 raised to power 18. So when you press your calculator, you get this one is going to be 1.284, that's 1.8 million, 1.2 million. So you realize it is going to give you 2 points dots. This is 2 point some dots. You were told you round off to the nearest shillings. If you don't round, you will not get scored. You will not score these marks. So let me do the other way, the other method. So it means that for every year there are 4 periods of payment for interest period. So it means for every year, every 1 year, there are 4 periods of payment, right? So in 1 year, 4 periods. So what about 4.5? So you multiply here 4.5. you will get 18. So it means that n is equal to 18. N is equal to 18. Then, so in these 18 periods, how much is going to pay the interest? So interest per period will be 24 divided by 4. And that one will be 6% per period. Now apply the formula. Amount is equal to principal 1 plus r over 100 raised to power n. Now you don't need to do this way now. This one we have. Then this one is going to be principal 4,450. 1 plus the rate 6 over 100 raised to power n, and the n is 18. We have already finished that. And this one is exactly this. Given that O is the origin, this is 3i plus 2j minus 4k, this is a positional vector. OB is this and that, 11j. The x divides AB in the ratio 1 to 2. Find the modulus of OX. So you need to find OX. You can use the ratio theorem or another method. Let me show you the way I did it. So I drew the diagram. Then the ratio is 1 to 2. This is x. So I need to get OX. OX is simply 1 over 3 this OB plus 2 over 3a. That is what I have done here. OX using the ratio theorem. Ratio theorem 2 over 3 OA plus 1 over 3 OB. I did this and then added, then found the modulus. The modulus this is squared plus this squared plus this squared. The square root of both gives you the modulus. The second, fourth, and the seventh terms of an AP are the first 3 consecutive terms of a GB. Find the common ratio of the GB if the common difference of the AP is 2. So let's get the second of the AP. Second is A plus D. That is the second. Then fourth is A plus 3D. And then seventh is A plus 6D. That is the AP. Then these ones are the first 3 consecutive of the GB. The first one for the GB is A. The second one is AR. And the third one is AR square. This is for the GB. This is the first, second, and third. So we are told that this one are exactly this one. So that means that, remember, for the GP, the second divided by the first one gives us the common ratio. So A plus 3D, the second, this one, divided by A plus D will be equal to AR over A. And that one is the same as, actually even before I do this, and A plus 6D over A plus 3D will be equal to A R square over AR. So actually this one we are going to make is equal to R. So this one is going to be equal to the radius. Now we solve this one, but we were told that the common difference D is 2. So we will substitute where you see D, you will put 2. We will have A plus 6 over A plus 2 equal to A plus 12 over A plus 6. here because we are substituting where you see D. Where you see D, we are substituting with 2, which is the common difference. Now let's multiply this. This is a squared. Before that, this is a plus 6 squared equal to a plus 2, a plus 12. So we square this, a squared plus 12a plus 36 equal to, so don't worry the way I'm doing it. You can open and multiply one by one. This times this, this times this, this times that, and finish. You will get the same answer. This times this, a squared. This times this, 12a. This times this, plus 2a. This times this, plus 24. So 12a squared plus 12a plus 36 will be equal to a squared plus this 14a plus 24. Now like terms together, this and this will cancel out. Now we can bring this here and this here. So we will have 36 minus 24 is equal to 14a minus 12a. So 12 is equal to 2a. So divide by 2, divided by 2. So therefore a is equal to 6. But remember, we are not looking for a, we are looking for the common find the common ratio. We are looking for r. But we know that either this over this, the answer is r. Either this over this, the answer is r, n of them. Now you can substitute using n of them. So we say a plus 12, that is this one, divided by a over 6, the answer is r. Now a, we have gotten it is 6 plus 12 over 6 plus 6, which is r. This is 18 over 12, r. 6, 2, 6, 3. So r equal to 3 over 2, which is 1.5. Thank you very much. Remember to share, subscribe, and like.